Dark side of the stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 283. This week was my pick, a documentary on Netflix called The Crash. Before we get into it, because it's relatively short if you want to get, I mean,
yeah.
I will say, I wanted to say before we do this, though, for all the grief we give bad police and investigators and prosecuting attorneys and DAs and all that, I want to give major props to the investigating team and the prosecutor involved in this, because once you see it all and then you see all the evidence that they had to do, because, I mean, it would be a very hard case to prove in court. You're like, damn, they did their job. Yeah. They did their job.
Every once in a while we commend them for good work, and we also ridicule for bad work. This is a good work.
Knowing the documentary, The Crash, let's go through some of Jay Stevens. Have you ever crashed your car?
I crashed the first car that I had.
How? What? It's okay.
I had two chicks in the car in high school and was just going a little too fast, cooking at home, and bam! So lucky that I didn't go over the edge of the cliff, because it was on a volcano, basically, head to my house. But yeah, smashed it because I was goofing off with these girls.
What kind of car was it?
Ford Pinto, the station wagon.
You're lucky to be alive, my man.
Red Ford Pinto was my first
in a
car.
Ford Pinto in Hawaii.
Yeah. So, I was goofing off with girls. So let that be a lesson. I still goof off with girls.
I think that was our assistant director, by the way, off camera.
Ollie.
The only time I think I rear-ended someone on accident because they had committed to turn right and then hard stopped and I just couldn't stop in time. That's not very exciting. The worst one, not the worst one, but the one that I remember the most, I was with this chick.
Oh, again, with a girl.
She was driving. It was my girlfriend in high school at the time. And there was a part of an undeveloped little cul-de-sac behind Kickapoo that we would call the area of the tree, which is where we went to go smoke after class and before school and all that stuff. And
your son is looking at you.
We had Ozarko performance at, it was SMS at that time. I was in Drumline. And so before we met at the school, and then since a lot of us all drove or had cars or whatever, you could take the bus or you could ride because it was in MSU. So our plan was, after the meeting, let's go to the tree, then we'll meet at Ever on SMS. So cool. Gotcha. So we go meet at the tree, do our thing. We all hop in. Everyone gets in their own car, and we take off. And there is a intersection in that neighborhood where I grew up that at the time didn't have a stop sign in either direction. It was because the road only extended probably 2 or 3 more houses, but there was no stop sign going this way, stop sign going this way.
Just watch what you're doing.
My girlfriend at the time enters the intersection at the same time this car's coming. Oh, they hit me in the passenger seat. I fall out of the car. I roll over. Luckily, who was following us will remain nameless because I think what his profession is. I don't want this to be reflected on him poorly. He's in another car following us. The first thing I remember is laying in the yard of this person, she rolled up into the yard. Wow. I got out of the car. I'm laying there, and in my mind, I'm like, get rid of the stash, get rid of the stash. You're going to jail, get rid of the stash. Just like immediately in my mind, like I'm laying there. I don't know how bad I'm hurt. I'm just like, get rid of the stash, get rid of the stash. Dude out of nowhere runs up. He's like, Mike, you okay? You okay? I'm like, take this and go. And he grabs it, ran, and boom, gone. Police showed up.
Nice.
I think I had a concussion, or I may have busted my. I can't remember exactly what happened. I did get hurt a little bit. It wasn't horrible, but so police showed up, and she ended up getting the ticket, my girlfriend, because since there was no stop sign in that intersection, she should have given that person the right of way, and since they were at the right, which again it was, but since then I think they have this. But that was the worst the worst crash, I think, luckily, that I've been
There you
involved in. So,
What is your worst crash? Let us know on Facebook.
or call Jay during his afternoon show, 417-863-7104. Either way, I'm Mike the Intern. That's Jay Stevens. We'll be back to talk about the crash. It's Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark side of the stream. Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Jay Stevens, Mike the Intern, back in the studio. It's Dark Side of the Stream episode 283 this week, The Crash on Netflix. So this tells the story of a very, very horrific car crash in Ohio involving a woman and two dudes, the passengers in the vehicle. Originally, it just looked like a bunch of kids that got into a really bad accident. Again, like we said in the very beginning of the episode, however, the investigators didn't just stop and say, hey.
They looked into it.
They looked into it.
And it was crazy. Like, just floored it head on.
100, she topped 100, at least.
Floored it head on into a wall.
The investigation in itself basically says that she was the only one wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash.
Mistake one.
What they found after, again, guys, if you're planning on doing something illegal,
nefarious,
the last thing that you should do
is
have any kind of social media, because basically what the investigators did was they looked at all of her TikToks and saw that in every single video she was in a vehicle, smoking, driving, riding, she never wore a seatbelt. But in this instance,
she had it on.
She had it on. Strike number one. The other thing I thought was incredible was when they found them, the friend in the back seat was on top of the person in the front seat, which led the investigators to believe that in those seconds that she just topped it out.
Stop.
He actually tried to fight for it, didn't do it, and then that was that.
Yeah.
Incredible that they figured that out. Like I because again, I don't ever want to see something like this, and props to first responders that have to do that.
Yeah.
To like, I can't imagine a vehicle hitting something stationary going 100 miles an hour and what that looks like.
Yeah.
And what those people look like not being in seatbelts and how they would see that.
I don't know how she lived either, because that's a pretty brutal crash.
I don't think she really, honestly, I don't think she really cared. I think being the person that she was,
which that's the
next segment. The person that she was, it didn't. People like that, I don't think they don't think about the consequences. But then they kind of lean into it, I guess, if it works out for them, right?
I mean, that'll be the next segment, is that don't date a girl with red flags. B, if you're a parent, don't enable your kid. Like, put a few little boundaries on your kid, because I feel there was some strong unparental guidance going on in this.
Well, and some of the friends and stuff too that were just like, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about that next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark Side of the Stream. Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens, back in the studio. It is Dark Side of the Stream episode 283 this week, The Crash on Netflix. So yeah, Jay, don't do as he says, not as he does.
Yeah, I mean, just you could look at the parents when they talk to them, like maybe not so much the mom, but the dad definitely seemed like he was not as strict of a dad as he should have been. Because that would be a nice way to put it, maybe. That,
obviously, if you see how this thing went went down in hindsight is obvious because this was a person that never really had to face consequences of their actions ever.
Yeah.
What's crazy though too is that a lot of people in her inner circle kind of doubled down on it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
And so it wasn't, I don't think it was just them. It was also everyone else after the fact. And also like, I don't know about you, but if, for example, let's say you were in the girl's position, right?
Okay.
And you
I'm spending all your money on sunglasses and purses,
your girl,
and filming TikToks of me how hot I am.
You guys get in a crash, and everyone dies except for you.
Yeah.
You get out of the hospital, and the next thing I see is you just partying at the lake.
Back at it, baby.
Yep. On you.
Next round, let's go.
I'd be like,
yo, what are you doing?
I'd be like, are you okay?
Right.
Are you okay? Because
right.
if I had just lost my girl, and like obviously someone else, and it was my fault, and I was,
somehow accidentally killed people.
even if I was like not
even if it was
together,
complete accident,
just
I would be like,
driving around,
I'd feel horrible.
I don't know how long. I don't know how long I'd be in
It'd be
therapy
hard to
for.
live.
It would be extremely hard.
It'd be hard to live with that. Yeah, she just brushed it
Didn't
off
matter.
and kept on partying.
That also shows you someone that's never had to face consequences.
Narcissistic, no consequences. So there was some lack of parental guidance. I think even somewhere I read on Facebook or something about the dad's shirt that he even wore in the interview. They're like, what a poor choice that was, because it had something to do with a crash or a boom or something like that.
Yeah, again, and also too, another thing I thought that the investigators did that was really smart was the cell phone data of her GPS and like knowing and being able to tell that she was doing trial runs of what this was going to be beforehand. So that now you've got premeditation.
Yeah.
Ultimately, she would be convicted of this.
They had
crime.
camera footage from the street cameras and stuff. That's where you can see the intensity of the
how fast she's going with no stop.
Yeah.
There's no break.
Yeah, that's when they were probably like, wait a minute, she didn't even try to brake. Like,
I wonder if that was the first thing that they saw.
Probably.
And then they had to just deduce.
And I wonder if they get data
had.
from the car, almost like because it wasn't a Tesla, right?
I guess it would have to be.
There'd probably be some data they could probably give the car of like what happened and
boxes.
Zero braking. I'm sure there's something like that in there. Yeah, man. But just basically, a red flag of a chick, and this shows how a red flag of a chick can lead to just.
Let's not make it just about female. Red flag of a person.
Okay, sorry. Red flag. Sorry, I have personal experience with a lot of red flag chicks. That's why. Red flag of a person.
Has some red flags.
Yeah,
too,
I'm also
he
big red
also
flag.
has some red flags.
Hopefully
FYI.
Jordan's not listening.
You're not alone, my friend. We all do. Either way, we'll be back next to give this our rating or review. It's Dark Side Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark side of the stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Jay Stevens, Mike the Intern, back in the studio. It's Dark Side of the Stream, episode 283. This week we did The Crash on Netflix. 3.5. And the only reason I say that, I will say I'm glad it wasn't like a 4-part series.
Yeah, it was short.
It was just one episode. It was one concise story. I want to give as much props again to law enforcement for doing an incredible job investigating this thing. In the state that we live in, like you mentioned with the camera footage, I don't think it would be hard to deduce based off of because as a viewer, you're right. When you see it, you're like, that person is literally trying to do something.
And that's why I know there's a lot of controversies about these cameras being everywhere. But, there's pluses to them being everywhere as well, So it's people say, it's privacy, but if there's somebody kidnaps a kid, they can track the car and stuff like that instantly. So it's that you got to look at both sides of that argument as well. This is one example, I guess.
Who watches the watcher? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I know. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
It does come to a fine line.
I have security cameras all over my house, but I don't have a subscription. It's all hubbed inside on site. So it's not a subscription base. Someone else doesn't have it. I have it on a USB that's in my house. So, a live feature to see it when I want to. But again, the flock thing, I get where you're coming from. But
in this instance,
at a certain point, it's just, you see, you and I know what kind of world it was before 9/11.
Oh, I know.
right?
I know.
And how much freedom we had.
And it's just they take away a little more.
And
Take
then
away a
it's
little more.
just,
I know.
and
I
then
know.
once you start down that road,
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I mean,
know.
see also China, bro. You want a social rating?
That's the thing.
You want a social
No, we
rating?
definitely don't want that.
You of all people
Yeah.
don't need a social
But
rating.
you can see them trying to head that way. You know, you can see.
And this is a step in that
you can see-
direction.
yeah, you can see that.
So yeah, I mean, it's scary.
Fine
as hell.
line, man, fine
Scary
line.
as hell.
My pick.
Yeah.
I actually just watched it last night, just randomly, because it's the news story last week was that couple that climbed the World Trade Center, whatever.
Yeah, the climbers
top,
from Russia or
made it-
whatever.
Yeah, Roswell. They actually had a documentary come out a couple years ago about them
Yeah.
on Netflix called Skywalkers: A Love Story, and it's pretty wild, man.
And I guarantee you, they were probably making another one when they were doing the.
Hopefully they did.
Oh,
because
I mean,
they did a great job
bro,
with this one.
they definitely
great job.
did.
Great job with this.
Having stayed within like a block or two of the Empire State Building, that just, I mean, I'm not scared of heights. You know what I mean?
I can't even stand.
He's not.
I can't
getting
get on a ladder.
He won't get.
I
on
can't
a
even get on a ladder.
Like we're talking 2 feet
Yeah.
in the air. He's not.
Yeah.
This might be too high for him standing on the sofa,
I'm not the guy that will go up on.
which
your
it blows
roof.
my mind.
I know
like
it's
the
crazy.
craziest
I don't
thing
know
in the
why
world.
either. It's weird,
I
dude.
don't know.
weird.
You never rode roller coasters in your life?
Yeah, that I can do totally, but it's like when I'm standing on. I don't like heights. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe
Even if you're harnessed in.
it would be tough, probably. But,
Golly.
but roller coasters I can do.
We're going to get down on this when we talk about this next. As always, you can watch us do this Thursday, 9 a.m. on Facebook or YouTube. We do it live on my show at the same time. Jay does it during his show at 6 p.m. Or always, you can download it as a free podcast on our 104.7 The Cave app.
Or
I'm
you
Mike
can
Ian,
join us here in the studio like
Yeah.
Ollie did today.
104.7 The Cave.
Come rock out.
I'm Mike the Intern. That's Jay Stevens reminding you we watch movies. So
Documentaries,
you don't have to. Stark Side of Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Come on.